Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss some massive prediction market news. We're going to talk about Monad's big day and how we are positioning ourselves ahead of a potential Santa rally. Thank you all for listening today. We appreciate you each and every day showing up. If you're on X, listening on Spaces, give us a like. Comment, bookmark, retweet, anything you can do to help push us out in the algorithm. If you're listening on YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about. And if you're on Zora, hit us up. Let us know what's going on over there. We'll be reading some comments from Zora. We'll also be maybe checking out some profiles. Big day on Zora today. Big day. Big day. I'm joined today by Kix and Easy. Kix, it's been a little bit since I've talked to you. You're on the show yesterday filling in. How are you feeling today?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Kix.
I'm pretty sure you just died on your end for like 10 seconds. I mean, the audience can confirm or deny. Maybe it was on my end. But you just disappeared. Easy was just sitting there staring at his fucking phone as per usual. He didn't lag out, but you did.
I need to figure out what's going on with this lag out. Maybe I don't know what it is.
It could be me. I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. But I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was too, because I've been experiencing these issues. I'm not sure what exactly is causing it.
Could have a little gerbil in the wall eating at your internet connection. That's a hard one to deal with. But I'm doing great, man. Day before Thanksgiving, neighborhood annual Thanksgiving match at 12 p.m. today. So as soon as I get off this show, I'm going to be doing a rigorous stretch. You got to get loose.
Is it a football thing or a golf thing?
Football thing.
A little flag action?
Yeah, a little flag football action. You know, throwing some darts to the 11-year-olds in the neighborhood. Hey, Jimmy. 10-yard stop and go, pump fake, hit the fly route for the tutty, you know?
You got to have the offensive line to give you time for that double move, though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got to be nimble out there. Also, you know, it may be a little wet out there. So let's just say I got enough alcohol to deal with a variety of injuries from soreness to torn ACL.
Love it. Love it. If you're listening over on Twitter, you heard our intro. We love our friends over at Somnia. And every time we have a Somnia spot on the show, I love that. I love to play that song. Just had a pretty big report released out of Masari talking about Somnia and their mainnet stats. Basically, seeing a ton of action, both in terms of users and developers. 14.3 million daily transactions over the month of September. Over 199,000 SAMI in fees. Also talked about big partnerships, Google Cloud joining as a validator, BitGo and Fireblocks, enabling institutional custody, Layer 0, adding their cross-chain liquidity, and Dune being integrated for on-chain data. Big news coming out of Somnia. If you're looking to participate in the Somnia ecosystem, no better time than today. You can check out their Somnia SLP liquidity program, where you can earn SAMI prizes and protocol trading fees. Get started, liquidity.somnia.network to jump in and get started. Love our friends over at Somnia. You'll be hearing more about them from us this month. Love them. That being said, let's just jump right into it, Kix. Why don't we hit a little weather report here, and then we'll talk about the main topics of the day.
Let's do it, dude. Let's rev up the engine here for your favorite daily weather report. Showing Easy some buttons. Yesterday, Wednesday, November 26th, the majors chopping on the day. Bitcoin just under 87K. Ethereum at 2,900. Solana at 136. And Hype just under $34. It was a busy day for prediction markets as PolyMarket received CFTC approval to operate as an exchange in the U.S. It wasn't all good news, however, as a Nevada court ruled that Kalshi can no longer offer sports contracts. This could have widespread implications for prediction markets operating in the U.S. Next up, Elon is raising some major capital as XAI is looking to add $15 billion in investments at a $230 billion valuation. This valuation would rank them in the top 4 private companies globally, behind only SpaceX, ByteDance, and OpenAI. Finally, it was a good day to be a Monad token holder as the price is pumped over 2x from the lows to a $4.5 billion FTV. Coinbase pre-sale participants who bought at a $2.5 billion valuation are currently up 90%. That's it for the weather report. Back to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Kicks. Did you get on this Monad token sale on Coinbase? I know we were talking about doing it.
No, I actually did not, but I am proudly still holding my Monad airdrop.
Hey,
I haven't even logged in. Did I just get airdropped or I have to claim something?
You got airdropped. It was a after all the hoops you had to jump through beforehand. It was just a standard run of the mill airdrop sent right to your wallet.
Fucking love it, dude.
Yeah, so it should be right in your Rabby wallet. I did well in this. I got an airdrop. I bought on Coinbase. I withdrew from Coinbase to my wallet, which apparently there's no penalty, and they confirmed this. So Coinbase purchasers, they're allowing withdrawal to self custody wallets. So I did that. I sold half of my total bag, and I'm just LPing right now over on Uniswap.
Let's go, dude.
Get some of this volatility, get some fees on it. Take half profits. Yeah.
Get a little farm in. Get a little farm on.
Yep. You're still holding Kicks. Are you holding to a certain point, or are you just you just didn't really check, didn't really know what's going on, not really concerned about it?
My play from the initial was like, hey, not gonna sell for 72 hours. So I think we're at 48 hours. At least for 72 hours. But I mean, if the price action keeps looking good, with overall crypto as well as Monad, like I'm happy to hold it a little longer. But at 72 hours, I'll take a sober take. Maybe I sell half. Who knows? Also, potentially could try to hold it into 2026.
So you don't get those short-term capital gains. Being airdrop though, isn't that income?
I don't know, dude. Here's the thing, dude. If you put $1 million on my doorstep and I don't bring it inside my house until 2026, did you really give it to me, or was it just sitting out there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is like an interesting area.
If you send me mail with a check in it and I don't open that mail until 2026 and cash it in 2026, did you really send it to me and I owed it in 2025? I don't know. These are deep philosophical questions.
Yeah, and I think once we see ruling on this, I could see funny stuff happening, like people sending illiquid tokens worth millions of dollars to congressmen who then have to pay taxes on it. So I could see funny stuff like that happening if they rule against unfair airdrop allocation. I see a gremlin behind you, Kicks. I want to talk to you about Bitcoin price action, though. You said majors are looking pretty good here. We've held this 83K level. Everyone's been kind of talking about since we peaked. Everyone's like, okay, well, worst case scenario, 83K. Do we continue to hold this level? Do you think we're going to see a little bit of a Santa rally? I know you've been kind of bullish over the next 2 to 3 months.
That MACD curl getting pretty close on the daily. And if you see the last time when we tried to cross it, we hit that red moving average. And that's right above 92. And we haven't even hit that yet. So it looks like it wants to cross, and it's not bouncing up against any sort of strong resistance. So in my mind, I think it's more likely that we get a cross here than we get a fake out. And then I think we would move up to one of these moving averages, and that'll either form resistance or support. So I still lean bullish on the short term, but I'm primarily in alts. So I'm hoping that it chops. It'd be great if it moves up, 92, 94. That's great for me. If it sits at 87, that's okay for me. If it wants to dump back down to 83, 84, it'll sting a little bit short term. But yeah, over the next couple of weeks, I'm leaning bullish.
I'm gonna pull up the Bollinger Band, see where we are. I know we were like really knocking on the bottom band for a while in some really ugly ways. We're still below and completely outside of this lower range of the Bollinger Bands. You have to think that this snaps back and has some kind of reversal. Like over 90K seems like programmed for this week, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the play I'm taking here. And I once again, I wouldn't be surprised if like over the next 60 days it wants to like drift up towards 100K, maybe a little bit north of 100K. And then we get ourselves a really interesting situation where on the monthly we're looking bearish, on the weekly we're looking bullish, have a head and shoulders pattern setting up on top of that. Talked about it last week. I'm looking for a play similar to 2022, where we got that pullback, we got the bearish MACD cross on the monthly, and then Bitcoin chopped and then like worked up to that blue moving average over the period of a couple of weeks. To the left.
This one here.
To the right.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this scenario, we've topped. We want to make a run back.
And if you look at like the weekly, like we're basically that like last dark red candle. Yeah, that one right there. So like I could see something like that. Like we snap back above the green Bollinger Band, and then we kind of chop, sit, make an attempt at the moving average. At that point in time, the moving average is probably like in the low 100s. Yeah, exactly. Like something like that. Maybe that's a little bit more extended. I think it would happen in a couple of weeks. But yeah, then you're going to get a head and shoulders pattern as well. So I think the real big decisions for people is going to be, yeah, exactly like that. It's going to, but I'm not saying it's going to go down like that. I'm just saying that it's going to create a very interesting confluence of setups, right? Where like the monthly looks like it needs more downside pressure. The weekly has a nice run up. You get a potential head and shoulders pattern. What I wouldn't be surprised to see is, we kind of go up to 103K, right? Then we test back down to like the high 70s, low 80s. And then potentially try for another leg up. Like I wouldn't be surprised for us to get basically a bullish head fake, bearish head fake, and then we start moving up only into like the middle of 2026. But who the fuck knows?
Let's go off like 3 or 4 different scenarios and we'll just clip the best one. All right. So what I think is going to happen here is what happens if we see this similar run here? So like this is the last time our weekly Bollinger Bands peaked below the MACD curled as we were below the Bollinger Bands. This was back in April after the tariff stuff. We saw like a pretty V-shaped recovery.
Yeah.
Looking at a similar like recovery takes us back close to all-time highs if we can hit that.
Yeah, and I think that can potentially be in the cards as well. Like I think the pivot will be, it's already been, a week. So the pivot would be like 4 to 5 weeks from now. We're sitting in the low 100s. Right. It would be sort of like like look at the rally that you were showing, that first candle where it sits right above the moving average, the real thin candle. Yeah, right there. Exactly. Like that's going to be like the pivot week. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think there's going to be, and that in those kinds of situations is where there's potentially a lot of money to be made, right? Because you're going to have a real divide between people that think like, oh, okay, this was just a relief rally top, right? And other people thinking like, no, we're resuming back up, back to up only and have a really nice move up. Once again, like you can't predict the future, right? But I think that short-term price action makes sense to me. And if we get that short-term price action, I think being long alts is going to be great. It's already been great the last 7 days. A lot of alts have seen some nice relief rallies. And then yeah, I'll have to make a decision in a couple of weeks of what I want to do there. I think probably the simplest thing for me to do will be take profits on those alts and either sit in cash with them or nibble back into the majors.
Yeah, I see us kind of playing out. Like, I don't think we can stay below these Bollinger Bands for long. I think we're going to see a bounce back, and I think people are going to be calling for the Santa rally. And then at that point, it's who knows.
Exactly.
Like, those people could get wrecked potentially if we're looking at like, hey, this is the final setup of this cycle. But I mean, there's also the scenario where the cycle isn't like a cycle and the 4-year cycle is broken. But I want to lean towards being
I
more.
think it's already kind of safe to argue that. I mean, it is like maybe not like just in the context of looking at Bitcoin, but I mean, I think Bitcoin already has looked way different than any previous cycle. Its price action, right? And then if you like factor in that we had no alt season, at least not yet in Q4 of this year, yeah, the market seems completely different. So once again, I would not be surprised for us to get, the all sorts of scenarios, but I think it's at least a 50% chance that like we're not puking down to 50 or 40, right? Like this could be the bottom or close to the bottom, and we get one more retest, or we don't. But for my personal trading, all I care about is what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and I think the next 3 to 4 weeks, Bitcoin chops, if not chop upward, and that's good for alts.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, it looks like right now we're like basically in terms of MACD, like at the like bearish red levels we've ever been.
Yes, exactly. You have to get some sort of 4 or 5 week relief rally, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing throwing like a wrench in this in my head is just like any sort of like quantum like black swan threat narrative, which is like hard to like quantify and even like trade against.
Yeah, it's kind of like being worried about China invading Taiwan. Like, you know what I mean? You can't control if it's going to happen or not, and if it happens, it's going to cause a lot of turbulence. Look at the monthly. This is the tricky thing is in my opinion, the Bollinger Band on the monthly, right? Because you're getting across here,
right, for the first time since 2023.
Yeah, and I think like best case you're looking for like a 2020 cross where it's just a couple of red and then it starts to go up, but that whole setup was without significant bullish movement upside. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we've covered enough potential outcomes.
We've covered every potential price action other than this thing going straight to zero in a quantum hack.
All right, let's try this one. Well, I think this thing is just basically going to go straight to zero, and we're going to have a quantum hack sometime in the next 6 weeks.
There we go. Now we've covered every scenario.
Here we go. Moving on, I want to talk some prediction markets. We had some major news come out on both sides, good and bad. We had this Nevada thing pop out. So Nevada court dissolved a preliminary injunction granted to Kalshi, basically saying, hey, we've changed our mind on this ruling. Things have changed, and we think that like Kalshi is basically offering sports betting. They're saying like any bettable thing can be considered theoretically a swap. So that's not what they intended to rule against. So basically saying like they're not swaps. It's sports gambling, and you're infringing on Nevada gaming law. So this is like a major issue because it's basically looking at like the fundamentals of prediction markets and saying like this isn't swaps. This is just gambling in a different package. So I would love to hear Easy your take and Kix's take as you're deeper in the weeds in this. I just read this headline and kind of what some people have been saying. I would love
Easy. It's unsurprising, Ray.
Not surprising. You worried?
No. I've always felt sports are like the lowest hanging fruit in general when it came to prediction markets. We've had DraftKings, we've had FanDuel, we've had sports gambling for God knows how long. So for me, it's like prediction markets in general should not be reliant on sports. And if that's where the majority of the volume comes from, then it's just a glorified sports book. Like, that's all it is. So the more that I look at this, the more I'm just like, yeah, this feels like what was bound to happen. You have DraftKings and FanDuel, which spend millions and millions of dollars a year in order to get through legislation, get approved, do all this other stuff that they've been doing for the better half of a decade, right? So there's a lot more that I look at on it, and I'm like, okay, this feels like there has to be some sort of moment now where this is like coming to a head, and it finally is happening. So I'm like, yeah, this makes a ton of sense. You know, the more that I read this, the more that I look at it, I'm like, this was bound to happen, and I'm not surprised. So for me, I think this will just open up the opportunity for prediction markets that are not heavily reliant on sports.
Yeah. So, Kix, your thoughts on this? Anything to add?
First of all, this is just a removal of an injunction, right? So like it's not an actual ruling.
I'll show you my junk.
So like this is just more so like being like, hey, like we can continue to operate as is until there is a ruling, and they've dissolved that injunction. Also, just like not surprised. Once again, just the United States is 50 states, and there's states' rights versus federal rights. It's a complex issue. Also, I think pretty much any disruptive, innovative technology gets sued by a bunch of states and localities. If you look at Airbnb or if you look at Uber, right? How many states and cities sued Uber as they were coming in and disrupting the taxi medallion, revenue structure for the states. So I'm not super surprised. I'm sure that the people in the prediction market space aren't super surprised either that, if you have 50 states, at least one doing something like this is not the craziest. How will it affect things going forward? I think what's interesting is like, does this give pause to PolyMarket's US live launch, right? Are they like, hey, we still want to rush and like roll this thing out and compete? Or do we want to just, like sit on the sidelines and see if we get clarity here? Also, one of the simplest things to do is, you just block Nevada, right? Or you just block the states that actually do this, right? Like I think Nevada, in terms of the overall prediction market space, it's not like a massive state. It's not like California or New York, right? Or Florida. Those would be, bigger situations to deal with. So not too surprised. And I think it'll be interesting to see like how this is done going ahead. But yeah, I mean, I think pretty much everyone reasonable can look at the sports contracts and say this is very similar to traditional sports gambling, despite it being a big innovation where, now there's, much better liquidity on some markets. You can take both sides of the market as opposed to like this. All of this makes sense. And honestly, it's been done in Europe for like almost 2 decades now. The US is very, very far behind when it comes to like peer-to-peer sports betting. But
I'll show you my peer.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, once again, this happened with Airbnb. This happened with Uber. There's 50 states. You're going to get sued by some states. Nevada is a big gambling state. Not a shocker that their judges are going to, operate this way. What'd be really interesting is if like the federal government, comes in and tries to put some sort of national superseding law. So, sort of like I'm pretty sure they did that. Like the federal government did this with like poker, right? In 2008, they made like a federal law banning it. So even if you were a state and you're like, hey, we want to let online poker happen, or maybe I'm wrong on that, but once again, not too surprised. I think this definitely impacts Kalshi way more than it impacts PolyMarket. A, from a revenue standpoint, and then B, from overall where most of their volume comes from.
Are we concerned that gambling lobbyists would take this to higher levels, whereas it could be an issue across the entire U.S., especially with midterms coming up?
Potentially, but once again, I think this is all specifically around the sports contracts. And as like Easy said, I think that's the least innovative sector of prediction markets. So I don't think anything that's going on here would like bleed into non-sports contracts, especially since the CFTC, a federal agency, is like pushing towards allowing these things. You know what I mean? Which is a disconnect from what Nevada's doing. And I think that's why Nevada, once again, is specifically focusing just on the sports side. Like Nevada's not arguing, hey, you can't bet on, Trump things.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. To be honest, like I have more concern than faith, but we do have good news coming out as well. We have the CFTC approving PolyMarket for as an exchange in the US. This is pretty big. It's now November 26th. We don't have a public PolyMarket app yet. Are you going to get one this year, Easy?
The PolyMarket app?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Kix was just talking about, right? Did you ignore everything he said? I know that he rambled a bunch and said a bunch of bullshit words, but did you ignore it?
I kind of did because Pio was asking me a bunch of questions. I was typing back to him.
Oh my God. Pio hasn't been on the show in weeks. Doesn't he know that this time is occupied every single day? Months. He hasn't been on the show since fucking October last year. But no, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. It's impossible to say. The market is currently saying, yeah, there's still likelihood that it goes live. It's a 70% chance. Obviously, it was trading as high as 97%, but that's trending down. So the sports thing doesn't really help because from what I've heard, the app will be sports first, since that is where the majority of volume is coming from. And it seems like things like California and Texas, where DraftKings and FanDuel are outlawed, are seeing the majority of the volume on these prediction markets for sports. Robinhood included, obviously. But for me, I'm kind of indifferent on it. My big thing right now is who, what, when, where, and why can I find a potential trade that expires today that I can full port? We're full porting the entire prediction market balance every single day until we make it all back.
What happened with this one, Easy?
I got fucked, Ray. What do you mean what happened? He said nuclear and B2.
You said both of them?
One or the other. I didn't even watch it because it was supposed to be at 2 and then they had it at 12 instead and I was not home. So I got fucked on every single front. On top of that, said gobble and waddle 10 plus times, said pardon 7 plus times, said job 5 plus times, said big beautiful bill 5 plus times, said thanks 20 plus times. I literally went, he said the word hell. I went 1 and 8 on this market. 1 and 8. The only thing I hit on was tariff.
Hell is very interesting. This one from 18%. So that's a nice little 5x.
Right. Go look at the chart for nuclear. It went from 6%. I just got absolutely destroyed on this market yesterday. And I did a ton of research. And sure enough, on average, these speeches are 8 to 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes. He went for 20 minutes. 20.
That's absurd. I wonder, how much Barron had on the S's in this market.
I don't know. Regardless, I should have just full ported Will a Turkey gobble during the live stream because they gobbled 11 times.
11 gobbles?
11
Clemente
gobbles.
was absolutely sure of that one.
Yeah, that was a lock. 11 gobbles.
That was like 50-50 at the time when you guys were talking about it, right?
Only because it was a new market. So it basically, you got to think once the liquidity got into it, it was trading around 70 cents. But that's still a decent, that's a 60% gain, right? Yeah. That's a nice little return that you can get.
Yeah, no complaints.
It hit in the first minute though. You see that 12 p.m. right there? That's when the event started. Yep. Move over one little notch. 12:15 it had already hit. 12:05 it hit. If you go down to the hour or the 6 hour, you might need to. One day? Yeah, one day. There we go. This thing hit 12:10.
On its way up.
Yeah, look at that. It hit within the first 5 minutes.
Turkey just out there gobbling.
They gobbled so quickly, and they just kept gobbling. They just kept.
I'm surprised
now.
it was only at like 65, 70. Tyrion was on this as well. He was doing some research because they like some news organization interviewed the turkeys, and he was like, "These guys are gobbling like crazy. This is gonna be a hit."
They were yapping, dude.
I'm like, what a time to be alive, dude. You know,
Dude, the thing is, I love the people.
this
who
is
are
what
like,
Nevada is trying to
glorified-
take away from us.
This is just glorified gambling. There's no edge. Like, dude,
This is predicting.
care what you have to
Using
say.
CFTC approved swaps to predict the future.
I don't think it's
like
gambling.
I just want to say, I don't give a shit if you think it's gambling. I don't care. What else would you be doing right now in this market?
I don't think it's
What else
gambling.
would you do?
Tyrion's up 30K in the last 30 days on mentioned markets. 30 grand.
That's not bad.
That's what I'm saying. There's countless opportunities, countless, and you can
Imperial
say
does a
whatever
ton
you
of
want.
research.
There's no edge, just gambling. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. What else would you be doing right now besides just fucking complaining? Like, go have some fun. Go have some fun. Where else in the world can you bet on the situation of a turkey gobbling during an official thing? You know what I mean?
Just in your group chats with your friends.
I hammered this. I've never watched a second of Dancing with the Stars. And I full ported it at 65 cents.
Erwin Carson.
Yeah, just absolutely. Dude, they were the heavy favorite for like weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like 65%. Nobody's
My
even
average
close.
was 66. I was very happy about that average.
I mean, that just feels like a free 30% for weeks. 40%.
You say it's more than 30%.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
like
50% gain.
Yeah.
This is like being like, oh, the Vegas had this team as the favorite and they won. It was free money.
Crazy.
But
Crazy.
nobody else was close for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean that is weird that doesn't make sense for me. Someone must have got eliminated because this is a neg risk market. So there is some
Yeah,
part of
the
the start
second
missing.
favorite was this person from Mormon Wives that got eliminated like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that was the one that was like the closest. Everyone said Alex Earl was going to be close. I don't even know who the fuck that is, but I guess they have a big social media following. So like during the show, it almost went 50-50 and then it flipped again. Like by like 10:30 last night, it was like 75% chance Robert Earl was going to win. I was laying in bed, 11 p.m. hit, and the odds skied to 100, and I was like, cool. Didn't watch a single second of the show.
Someone else
It's 330K liquidity on the market. So like I got a decent fill. I was happy with it. Use limit orders. We're back somehow in the green on this challenge. But now I'm like, fuck it. We're gonna just find stuff and full port the shit out of it.
What are you looking at today? Also, I'm getting like spoilers for Survivor, like in prediction markets, completely out of like right field here. Like, have to read this. I'm like, God damn it! Like, it's really annoying as like somebody who enjoys Survivor, seeing these odds like pop up like randomly.
Oh, that Savannah's gonna win at 74%.
Yep. Very frustrating because there's still like 10 people in it.
It doesn't matter. Savannah's got the dove.
I'm really curious.
When's that end?
Who's missing on this chart? Dancing with the Stars. There's
Probably like 5 weeks.
Oh, so what's missing on the chart is Earl Chermovsky. They were like the second place best bet.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was say if nobody else is there, like that means that
Earl
gotta zoom out.
Chermovsky was at like 30% going into the end.
Yeah.
So what are you
I don't
looking
know.
for today? Easy.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think there's anything that's like pressing today that's gonna end. I'm like
Full port,
looking.
the Epstein files come out today or Friday.
I think
They could come out on the weekend.
I think you could take a look at Ukraine Russia by March 2026 ceasefire.
I'm not taking a long dated play.
Yeah, he needs to take something that's going to end today.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I forgot he's.
I want same day. I want 0 DTE options right now, Kicks.
Is
I'm
there
not
like
looking
a
for shit.
hiring
just
Yeah, let me
gamble
just
some
tie up
crypto
the entire
up down
balance.
markets.
No, that's gambling. Hammering Robert Irwin with 0 research is not. That's predicting.
What
That's
about
ending soon.
you're pretty close to end of month, so you could be looking for.
Oh, that's what I was looking at. Is
November
the end
stuff.
of month stuff.
Yeah.
What about Dota 2?
I don't know shit about Dota.
What
dude.
about like Nvidia top company end of November? Where's that at? I saw that drop. I think that may have gone down to the 70s temporarily. More. Go to more. See all results. Yeah. No, just type Nvidia. Yeah. And go to see all results.
It's at 93%.
Okay. Did it drop a lot
Up to
though yesterday?
86. It went from 90. It dropped 10% yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, that one. So I guess it's
Second largest company, Apple dropped to 67. I would have been a play.
So, yeah.
But even that, I don't want to fucking wait. I need something that expires today.
All right, so let's go expiring soon. We're gonna filter, sort by
ending soon.
And we're gonna look for something with decent volume.
You're gonna make me bet on fucking
something's like 50-50 with decent volume.
Will the next Prime Minister of the Czech Republic
dissolve?
Gotta go with MongoDB up or down after earnings, I'd say. $5 of volume. I'm sure you could really size into this one.
No, yeah, the $2,000 balance would not skew these odds in the slightest.
Someone spiked it up to 99%. Easy, clear the order book.
It's an insider.
You can get some you can get $39 down on the over.
Fuck that.
All right, mention markets. We got them. What will Snowflake say during their next earnings call?
Is that today?
There you go.
Interesting.
Europe. Can't get much.
There's 100K liquidity on this. That's actually not bad.
Not much is at the money.
No.
We have any earnings calls?
Not probably going into Thanksgiving.
Ooh, we got John Deere.
100% beat this morning.
What about
Johnny Deere.
Crackle Barrel. There we go. Tomorrow, 46% chance.
Wait, did you call it Crackle Barrel?
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
The Crackle
This
Barrel.
showed me every market that's ending today.
That's cool. That's a cool.
Is this bullpen?
Yeah, bullpen.
Nice.
It's a lot of sports. Do we just hammer a temperature market?
Yeah.
Pistons Celtics.
I think it'd be higher than you think. No, I'm wrong.
60 degrees in New York. 74% is not bad, though.
Yeah, I'd long that.
You like that?
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be a 59, 60 degree day.
Figure out where the register is that they use and just run up.
They use the airport
heater
barometer. It's at JFK.
It's at JFK. Yeah, because what you're getting a little like warm rain coming in.
So imagine being that guy who reports that.
Let's Rudy Styles coming in. I like Zootopia 5-day box office greater than 157 million, although it recently went from 65 to 90. So,
oh well. Would have been.
When
good
does that end? Oh, December 1st. Yeah, it's at 90%. Fuck out of here with that shit. Oh, they have higher strikes.
Game.
Interesting. Where'd picks go?
He says I'm out of here. BRB. Oh man.
I need a full port play, Ray.
I think it's Cracker Barrel earnings. I don't know if you can full port it, but you can get some on it.
Let's hide sports, hide crypto. See what we get. Ooh, this is a good one.
What's this?
Will more people travel on Thanksgiving than last year?
Are the flights caught up yet?
Yeah, they're already done with that.
Everything's like there's no backlog. That's all settled.
No.
65% yes.
Yeah.
I mean, inflation's going up. Why are more people traveling this year? There's just more people. What happened last year? Was there a weather issue last year? What's the resolution on this? Like, what are they looking at for this stat?
That's what I'm checking. The resolution will be the daily checkpoint throughput measured by the the TSA.
So it's flights.
So you got to check passenger volumes and then total days.
All right, so maybe people weren't able to travel who wanted to travel when the airlines were all messed up, and they said, "Oh, we'll just travel for Thanksgiving instead." I mean, you can do Fed rate cut. That's still a couple weeks out, though. Nothing ever happens November. That's at 94%. I'm looking at top volume because you're going to need a lot of volume to get down a decent.
So it needs to be more than 1.5 mil on November 27th. What was the last year? Okay, because I found an interesting one.
What's up?
Will more people travel on Thanksgiving?
Mm.
It was 1.55186. 2726. I'm looking at the data here. That's alpha.
That's some alpha right there.
Hey, listen, that's some alpha for these motherfuckers. I guess.
Did this number go down over the last couple weeks with the closures? I got another interesting one too, Easy. Who will Trump talk to in November?
Yep.
There's a good amount of volume on almost all of these.
Read the same. Apparently most travelers ever recorded for Thanksgiving. You know what, boys? We're fucking hammering it.
Is this the one?
I'm gonna put half the balance on this.
Half?
Yeah, because I want to see if there's another play that I can take.
Okay. Let's go.
I just mooned it to 73 cents. It's got to be an insider.
Insider in. What? Wait, look at the top holders. What are their?
Oh God.
We didn't look at this yet.
Oh yeah, we're locked in. Oh God, no. Snow White. That's bad. I'm the third top holder. That's not good. Oh yep. I love seeing this.
Relay sucks. Looks like a pretty even mix. I'm
in. We're locked in. Let's see what else we got.
What about Trump doesn't talk to Zelensky for the next 5 days?
I think he will.
And 34% chance yes on that. That's an interesting one. You can go number of Elon tweets.
I hate those markets. Dude, there's people who are like sharps on those. Like the Elon tweet markets have sharp.
Do you think Bitcoin pulls down to 80K in November?
No idea. No idea, but we're all in.
If it gets to 80K, it's a 9% yes on that. Not a bad hedge.
Hide sports, hide crypto. Well,
OG Gaming. Not a fan of this.
well, we're just sitting here yapping about bullshit, to be honest.
Oh, man. And that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for listening. It's been a wonderful Wednesday ahead of Thanksgiving. Stay tuned about a show on Friday. We won't be doing a show tomorrow, but we may be back on Friday for a special post-Thanksgiving show.
That'd be great. Bitcoin could be higher. Alts could be higher, dude. It could be a really good Friday.
Yeah, I mean, the market's down. We're not going to run it, obviously.
Yeah,
Prices
no,
are right,
we'll
Jake.
just
Shut
call it
the
the
fuck
Black
up.
Friday special. Black Friday, 10%
Or that's gonna
off,
do it. We'll see you
20%
later.
off.
Bye.